I went to the charity shop and I bought a bright red teapot. It was £4.50. It's still got the remnants of the original label on it, the barcode at least, and it looks like it's been unused. And I thought, wouldn't that look great for Christmas? Christmas in July, that got me thinking. I absolutely love Christmas and celebrating it, not only as the day itself, but also as the whole season, the build-up. I thought, why don't I share with you some of my favourite YouTubers' Christmas playlists, and it might get you all inspired for what you might want to do in the run-up to Christmas this year. And in the meantime, what am I going to do with this teapot? Well, first of all, I'm probably going to put it straight up into the loft with my other Christmassy bits and pieces. But what I've got in mind for when the Christmas season approaches is I'll probably take the lid off and use it as a vase, or perhaps even put it on my shelf over here and use it for some of my Christmas decor. And in terms of putting flowers or greenery into my teapot, this is the kind of thing I mean. And I've just whipped these out of a flower arrangement I've got that's just going over. So I would measure up, trim the stems, 1, 2, 3, take off any green, and the leaves are going to be in the water of the teapot, because if you leave them in, they're going to rot, and that's what makes your water horrible and smelly. Imagine I've poured water in my teapot. You can put the greenery in there, add flowers, berries, and build on it, but that is the kind of thing that I'm thinking about. So my first suggestion for your Christmas in July playlist is to have a look at Lisa from Farmhouse on Boone. Lisa, and all the YouTubers I'm going to recommend, lives in America, and she lives in a farmhouse that she's renovating with her husband. She's got 5 children, pregnant with her 6th, I think, and she likes to cook food from scratch. I have to look at my notes here. Natural living and all about the homemade home. So check out the Christmas playlist of Lisa's. I'll leave a link to it up in the cards above, but I'll also put a link as well in the show notes underneath the video. And you have to let me know what you think about Lisa and her channel and what your favourite videos were. And in that vein, because all my YouTubers are American and I'm living in the UK, if you've got any suggestions for other channels that you think I would like, or even some channels from UK YouTubers, I would love to have a look at those. So all recommendations will be warmly received. And welcome to my Christmas grotto. Several years ago, I took over this open-sided shed at the bottom of my garden, and I did loads of Facebook Lives that I then turned into YouTube videos for Vlogmas. So again, I have to try and remember to leave a link to my own Christmas playlist so you can have a look at that. So my husband has taken back this part of the shed, and I can't use it anymore because it's chock-a-block full of gardening clobber. But I do need to take down a few bits and pieces, because when I use it as my grotto, I just noticed when he was clearing up at the weekend that I've still got some of my Christmas bits hanging up, so I do need to take those down. But my second recommendation, if you are interested in checking out another Christmas in July playlist, is Sarah from She Holds Dear. I think that's what her channel's called, She Holds Dearly, something like that. Perhaps I ought to look in my notes. Yes, She Holds Dearly. So again, Sarah is an American YouTuber. She's living in a farmhouse that she's renovating, and that is just so far away from my day-to-day life. I live in a very ordinary suburban house in a very ordinary street. So it's a clash of styles. My husband and I can never agree on what we're going to have, so it's just a house full of compromises, and perhaps I'm yearning for the cool whites and brights of both Sarah's channel and Lisa's that I've already mentioned. So inspired by Sarah, I have been on the lookout at the charity shop for some red transferware crockery. So this has been my only find so far, so I'm on a mission to look out for red crockery that I can bring out at Christmas time, And with Jubilee celebrations coming up in the UK next year, I am going to look out for blues as well, and I'm going to go red, white and blue with my crockery as we're celebrating the Queen's Jubilee. So again, I will leave the link to Sarah's channel, She Holds Dearly, up in the cards above this video and also in the show notes underneath. The next recommendation is also an American YouTuber who lives in a very white house. So I shall tell you a bit more of that in a moment. So these are the bits I've salvaged from the garden shed. I have got a door wreath, which I'll need to decide whether I can make use of, not quite sure, but probably if I can't, I'll just take the ribbon off and then just throw it straight onto the compost heap. And then this lovely little garland, it's got some really small pine cones on it, and I've printed on each of these little brown luggage tags. I think it says Merry Christmas or Happy Christmas, I can't remember. So again, it's lasted quite well, and they really have been out in the covered garden shed. It must be coming up for 3 years now, so perhaps I should just put that tidily away and put it out in the house for this year. So that brings me on to my third recommendation if you are wanting to immerse yourselves in all things Christmas here in the middle of July, and that is the YouTube channel called The White Cottage Company, which is hosted by Mary. And again, Mary lives in a white cottage and it's absolutely beautiful, and originally she was from the Amish community. Well, I think she's still Amish, but she'll explains more about that in her channel. So it's just really interesting looking at somebody who has a different way of life to my own. And she is the lady that got me into using my Cricut machine. So she doesn't have a Cricut machine, she has a Cameo Silhouette, but it does the same thing, it prints decals. So I brought my Cricut machine just before lockdown started last year, and it's given me an endless amount of joy. So I've been making vinyls to put on vases and signs, and using the vinyls to make stencils, and she does a lot of painting and upcycling of furniture. So those three ladies are all really great choices if you're looking for some inspiration. So that is Lisa from Farmhouse on Boone, Sarah from She Holds Dearly, and Mary from the White Cottage Company. So I will put all their details in the show notes underneath this video, and you can have a good old Christmas fest. And the last thing I'm going to do today is I was going to show you where I watch my Hallmark movies from, but there's a little bit of homeschooling going on at home at the moment, so I can't do that. But I absolutely love Christmas, the run up to Christmas, and if I can watch as many Hallmark movies or the equivalent of Hallmark movies between now and Christmas, that will make me one happy girl. So that's all from me for now. Don't forget to leave me your recommendations for really great channels that you enjoy, and particularly any channels, any English speaking channel anywhere in the world I'm interested in. But if you do know any UK YouTubers that do the sort of thing that I've been sharing with you, I would love to know your recommendations there as well. So that's all from me for now, and I'll see you again next time.